Good morning, good morning, good morning. Dana Glass from Michigan coming at you guys. I am going to give Facebook just a minute to let you know I am here. And this is the real Dana Glass. Maven's Unfiltered. I decided to be real. You know, we all know I'm a makeup girl, heels girl. But thanks for joining me. I want you to see that I'm a real person, and this is me with no makeup. And the old Dana Glass would have never done that. But I love that God has brought me this far, and that I can share the real me with you. Hi, Miss Trisha. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for jumping on. And so I'm trying not to cry, you guys, honestly. So if I start crying, please forgive me. But I just had to share this with you today because as most of you guys know, thank you, Melissa. This is the real Dana Glass. No makeup. Anyways, but thank you, right? Beauty comes from within. You are right, Melissa. I've had to really struggle with that because we put so much emphasis on the outward. And we all know I like to, I like my heels. Hey, Trisha, thanks for jumping on. Thank you, beautiful. I love you guys. You guys are so good. You know what? Isn't this journey about helping each other, lifting each other up? I'm on a mission to help women realize that we're not competing with each other. Let's empower each other, right? Hi, Miss Pat. So I wanted to share with you guys today something that maybe you don't realize about me. So I did a Facebook Live the other day sharing about how this is my birthday month. I'm gonna be 50. I got my AARP membership thing. I was like, holy Moses. I screenshotted that and sent it to my parents. And I said, can you believe your daughter is getting AARP? But anyways, you know what? I'm embracing it. That's why you guys see the hashtag Dana 5.0, because I decided that I was going to be 50. So instead of looking at that as a negative thing, I'm embracing it. This is my best year ever. I'm unleashing the real Dana Glass, as you can see. So I wanted to share with you guys. So today was my first time by myself running 6 miles. And so I'm in a group, and a running group. I've been in this running group for years, honestly, but I wasn't a runner, but I always knew I wanted to someday. But I wanted to take you guys back somewhere because doing the 6 miles today, I really had to prepare mentally. I started to realize, one of the girls in the group said, it's not so much about your body as it is mental. And it made me start thinking, you guys, as I was running today, I started crying. I'm going to try not to cry talking about it because I want to share something with you that you probably don't even know. So 10 years ago, I was married. I had gotten married to this guy. My girls were 4 and 8 when I married him. And I remember when he asked me to marry him, I told him, I said, this is a package deal. You're getting my girls and myself. And I said, are you in it for life? Because I wasn't about to go through another divorce. And he promised me he was. And we were married for some, like 6 years, I think it was. And he was older, so I figured he was done with, playing around. Anyways, so he ended up cheating on me with my friend's daughter. And I went through a whole lot during that time. I really lost myself, like literally lost my mind. And so I was going through this ugly divorce, and it was just detrimental because my girls and I were going to have to move out of the house, and it was just a really horrible time in my life. I was just going through so much, right? And so I went back to work at the state of Michigan because at the time I was a Mary Kay sales director, and I was so emotionally distraught, I just couldn't give back to other people at that point. So I gave up my directorship with Mary Kay, and I went back to work at the state of Michigan. I literally had just started the job. I was back 2 weeks, and it was January. And so we were still in the house, and my car at the time had leaked oil in the garage. And then you know how the snow is on your car, and then it had melted overnight, right? So this one morning I had on my cute little boots and all that. I was ready to go to work. I was running behind, and I had to take my daughter Jaren to school. So we go to the garage, and she gets in her seat, and I slipped and fell like underneath my car. I stood up because of the oil that was underneath the water that had melted. I stood up and I could tell I probably had sprained my ankle. Like, it was hurting really bad. And so I said to Jaren, because she had a big project that day, and I said, honey, I'm going to take you to school, and I'm going to come back and lay down for a minute, because you guys, it was throbbing so bad. So, you know, stupid Dana, gotta be determined. I go to make a stop, and guess what I did? Can you guys guess what I did? I slipped and fell again, but I had twisted my ankle, so this time I fell on the other side. And you guys, I see, it's so emotional because it hurt so bad. My bone stuck out of my ankle like this much. I shattered my entire foot. The entire ankle was, it was probably the size, like, I mean, it was huge, you guys. I can't even begin to tell you how big it was. Somewhere I have pictures of how big my ankle got. It was horrible. It was like, they couldn't even do surgery for 10 days because I had so much swelling. It was probably the size, it was probably literally, you guys, about 10 inches wide. I'm not exaggerating. And I want you guys to see something. So, on my ankle right now, I don't know if you can tell. See how thick that is? Can you guys see that? How thick it is? It shattered all the way around. And when I got to the emergency, now here's how determined I am. I called my friend around the corner, and he was a fireman, and he was like, Dana, you got to call the ambulance. Well, at the time, I didn't think I had insurance. I'm like, I'm not calling the ambulance. I'll wait for my parents to come get me and take me to the hospital. Now, mind you, my foot was like a freaking, probably 10 inches across. And it was, the bone was sticking out, literally. And he was like, Dana, I can't leave you here. And he was like, I said, just take Jaren to school. I will get to the hospital. He was like, he did not want to do that, but he did. So when I get to the ER, the doctor, I remember the doctor looking at me like, oh my God, he didn't freak me out, but he told my parents, like, she's in bad shape. So they did the x-rays, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, we have got to get you to a specialist. Like, they knew I was not going to be able to have surgery right away. So they got me right into the orthopedic. The orthopedic said, we cannot even touch you until that swelling goes down. I can't begin to tell you guys the pain that I was in. But this is what they told me. This is what I want you to hear. I want you to hear my love voice right now. They told me, number one, you'll never wear heels again. And you guys all know Dana Glass is a heel girl. And they said, you're lucky if you ever walk again. I want you guys to think about that. No heels, and to walk, to even just walk on my foot again. So 10 days later, I had surgery. It was extensive. I was literally in bed. I mean, I used crutches, but it was, you know, I was up in bed for like 3 months, I think it was, 3 or 4 months, long time. And I remember saying to myself, this is the part I want you guys to hear. I remember to say to myself, literally in the ER, mind you, my ankle's 12 or like 10 inches wide, bone sticking out. And I remember saying to him, it was clear as day. My mom was in the room. She was like, Dana, I said, I will wear heels again. I will wear heels again. You guys, so much of our life is a mental game. So today when I decided to go run the 6 miles, I knew mentally I had to prepare for it. But look how far I've come. And I wanted to share my heart with you because some of you guys are out here like, oh, that's just Dana Glass, she can do it. No, I have barriers. I was told I'm lucky to even be walking 9 years ago, but I defied that. And what happened is later on, when I went to my regular doctor, she was like, Dana, you're not, I was just 40 at the time. She was like, you should not have had that much bone damage. So they did some testing, and I have osteoporosis. That is why I choose to run. Because she told me, this is what she told me 10 years ago. This is what she said, you guys. She said, you're going to want to start running and build your bone mass before you get 50. That was why I woke up this year and said I need to start running, because she had planted that seed 10 years ago. It's never too late, you guys. I want you to look at your obstacles and say, I'm going to defy it one step at a time. I don't care what it is. Whatever it is you want to accomplish in your life, most of us give up so easily. Do you know it's hard out here? running that 6 miles today was hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a definite mental game. It wasn't even, my body wasn't even tired. I started to really realize it was here. When I said to that doctor, I will wear heels again, and I do, I will tell you guys, there's a part of me that's a little cautious when I'm stepping, because I know, I don't, you know, but you know what? So I had 12 screws and a rod. So the rod came up all the way up here in so they pieced back together my foot. You guys can do anything you want to, but it is hard. Sometimes it is overwhelming when you're in the middle of the storm or in the middle of that, whatever the barrier is, but you have to make a mental decision. When I said I will wear heels again, my ankle was freaking broken and it was 10 inches wide, but I knew I was gonna do it. So this year, when I made the decision to run a half marathon in September, it was a mental decision, right? So today I want you to ask yourself, what is the one thing in my life that I keep saying I'm gonna do that may seem so out of reach, right? But you have to take one step towards that. The fact that I can walk today, after 9 years ago when they told me pretty much I'm lucky to even be walking ever again, I don't take that for granted. Do you guys wanna know something? Every morning when I wake up, I thank the Lord Jesus for me being able to walk, because there was a time I couldn't walk. Be grateful for where you're at. Don't look at the bigger picture. Look at the next step. You do have to know where you're going, and that'll drive you in that next step, you guys. But it's never too late. It took me 10 years from that moment to get to where I'm at today. I would hear my doctor in my head, you better start running, build that bone mass. Build that bone mass, because you don't want to become that person who's old and brittle because you have osteoporosis. So that's why I'm out here running, because I'm preventing what could happen to me as I get older. I want my body to be, I'm going to be that grandma, mark my words right here. I'm 50 right now doing a half marathon. I'm going to be that 70-year-old great grandma probably running a marathon. Watch what I say, because I'm putting it out to the universe, and I actually do believe it. So I want to ask you today, what's the one thing that you can do for your life today that may seem so hard, you guys? It was hard. It was hard recouping from that break. I cried many nights myself to sleep because the pain was so excruciating. When they actually did surgery, he said, oh, it'll be outpatient. She'll be gone tonight. When they got in there and they realized how bad I was, I mean, literally, you should see my x-rays. I still have my x-rays to remind myself today. They cut me inpatient. They gave me morphine. He's like, she was in bad shape. The only piece that wasn't broken in my whole foot was a little piece in the back that goes like this. Everything around my whole ankle was broken. They had to piece it back together. And yet Dana's out here running. So you can do it too, you guys. I love each one of you. Thank you so much for jumping on. Love you. Till next time, smooches.